Hey there. So if you're a teacher and you've got this feeling that AI could probably help you, but you just don't have a spare weekend to figure it all out, you are in exactly the right place. Today we're going to walk through a super practical guide on how to use AI tools like Claude Cowork to get some time back and shrink that mountain of paperwork. Let's turn that hunch into your new time-saving superpower.
Okay, we're starting right here with what is hands down the single most important rule. This isn't about hype, it's about being a professional. Seriously, this one sentence is your North Star for using any AI tool safely and correctly. We're going to come back to this, but I want you to just let that sink in as we go.
I mean, let's be real. This probably hits pretty close to home, right? The whole point of this isn't to add yet another complicated thing to your to-do list. It's to show you a system for using AI to claw back time for the work that actually matters. You know, the reason you got into teaching in the first place.
So, how do we actually do that? Well, it starts by completely reframing what this tool is. It is not a replacement for you. It's not some magic wand. Think of it more like a new kind of partner, a really fast, tireless assistant who can hammer out the first draft so you can focus on making it perfect.
Now, what makes this different is something called an agentic workflow. I know, it's a bit of jargon, but what it means for you is actually pretty simple. This thing is way more than just a chatbot. You can give it a bunch of different files at once, like your own notes, a rubric, a state standard, and ask it to produce a whole complete thing, like a full lesson plan with materials already differentiated. And this right here is crucial, knowing what this partner is actually good at. Look at those good fit tasks. This is its sweet spot. Taking your jumbled notes and turning them into a clean lesson plan? Perfect. Adapting that one lesson for 3 different reading levels? Yes. Drafting that tricky email to a parent? Absolutely. But look at the poor fit tasks. Creating student work, writing IEPs, handling conflicts. These things require your judgment, your expertise. That's your lane, not the tools.
Okay, so to get the most out of this new partner, you need a system. You need a pattern you can use over and over without even thinking about it. And that system is the GMCR framework.
And that's exactly what this is for. You know that feeling? The bell's about to ring, you've got 10 minutes. You don't have time to write some beautiful, poetic prompt for an AI. You need a process that you can just run on autopilot. That is what GMC Core is all about.
So here are the 5 steps: goal, materials, constraints, output, and review. We're going to break down each one, but just seeing them laid out like this, you can kind of feel the logic, right? It's a workflow that's built for getting clear results.
First up, G is for goal. And honestly, this is where most people get it wrong at first. If you just ask for a lesson plan, you're going to get something generic and pretty useless. But an outcome, that's specific. It's something you can actually look at and say, yes, this is done. It tells the tool exactly what you're aiming for.
Next up, M is for materials. This is so important. If you just describe your rubric, the AI is just going to guess and invent something. But if you actually give it your real rubric, it'll use that. You know the saying, garbage in, garbage out? It's 100% true here. The quality of what you get back is totally dependent on the real stuff you feed it. C is for constraints. This is the part where you, the teacher, get to inject all your professional wisdom. You know you have 28 kids, you know 4 of them get ELL support, you know the tone needs to be firm but encouraging. Putting in these boundaries is what turns a generic piece of text into something you can actually walk into your classroom and use. O is for output, and this one is a massive time saver. If you don't tell it what format you want, you're probably just going to get a giant wall of text that you then have to spend time fixing yourself. So ask for that 2-column table or that numbered list right from the start. Giving it a structure forces it to be clear.
And finally, we get to the most important step of all. R is for review. Listen, the AI is going to sound super confident, even when it is dead wrong. It can make up facts, it can misinterpret a standard. You have to be the final filter. This is the step you can never, ever skip. The tool makes the draft, you're the one who gives it the stamp of approval.
All right, so theory is one thing, but let's see what this actually looks like when the rubber meets the road. We're going to compare a pretty weak prompt to a really strong one so you can see why this GMCRR framework makes such a huge difference.
Just look at this. It's night and day. The weak prompt, write a lesson on fractions, is basically a roll of the dice. But the strong prompt? That's GMCOR in action. You've got the goal, a 45-minute lesson. The materials, the actual state standard. The constraints, 22 students, one with ELL needs. And the output, a timed plan with all the specific parts. This is the difference between wasting an hour and saving one.
Now, with all this power comes some real responsibility. To use these tools the right way, you have to know the rules of the road.
And this isn't the fine print, okay? This is fundamental to using AI like a professional.
So, protecting your students' privacy. It all comes back to this one simple, powerful rule. No names, no IEP details, no discipline records, no sensitive family stuff. You can describe a situation, like a 6th grader who has trouble with multi-step directions, without ever identifying that student. That is the hard line.
Let's talk about the traps. These are the most common mistakes I see teachers make. Being vague, not giving it any real material to work with, and skipping that final review step. These mistakes will eat up all the time the tool was supposed to save you. But the biggest one? Trying to use AI to replace your professional judgment. Remember, it's a drafting partner, not the teacher. So, why are we even going through all the trouble of learning this framework? Why care about prompts and workflows and all this stuff? Well, it all boils down to one simple, beautiful thing: getting your time back.
What's this number? Well, if using these workflows saves you just 2 hours a week, just 2, over a school year, that's 100 hours you get back. 100 hours that are not for more paperwork. That's time for your family, for your own sanity, for you to just recharge so you can come back to your classroom a better teacher.
And that really brings us to the final core idea. This one line sums up the whole philosophy. The tool is an amazing partner for drafting things, for adapting them, for organizing them, but you are the teacher. You bring the heart, the judgment, the relationship with your kids. And as long as you keep that line crystal clear, this whole partnership works beautifully.
So, I'm going to leave you with this question, and it's not a rhetorical one. I really want you to think about it. If you actually truly got 2 hours of your life back this week, what would you do with it? That's the real goal here. It's not about the tech, it's about what the tech gives you back, for your students, and just as importantly, for yourself.